Sometimes my fellow cruisers, I mean, they really just make me shake my head. Some of the things they say, some of the things they ask for, some of the things that they want. I don't know where some of this stuff even comes from or why they even think it's possible. But these comments, questions, and complaints, honestly, I don't think I could ever be a brand ambassador. Definitely not a brand ambassador for Carnival Cruise Lines, who, well, they got a public Facebook page. Their brand ambassador, John Heald, he's on there each and every day answering questions, comments. It's a public forum. And so that they're going to get a lot of crazy stuff. I bet if the other cruise lines had something similar, they'd get the same thing. But yeah, Carnival, they hang their laundry out for everybody to see. And so today we're going to listen to some comments, some statements, some questions, and we're going to hear it directly from Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador. And we'll see, what do you guys think? Are these people right? Are these people wrong? Are they cruising in their own world? Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising. Welcome to today's video and some video comments from Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador, John Heald. Said he gets hundreds, thousands of questions each and every day. Some of them he comes online and he talks about, and I want to share those with you today. So let's jump right in. Let's start with our first one. And really, this is about, why are you worried about what somebody else is doing? Who cares if someone wears their sign and sell card on a lanyard? Why is that affecting your day? Why is that affecting your vacation? Why is what someone else is doing really affecting you at all when it comes to the fact that they wear their card around their neck? But apparently it's a big discussion somewhere on the internet, so we had to talk about it.
To today's 3-minute video, and we're going to talk a little bit this morning about a post I received yesterday from somebody who we will call Michael because, well, that's his name. And Michael says, a big discussion on Cruise Critic. Will the Grand Pooh Bear, and in brackets, you Heald, LOL, care to comment? It has been said that most Diamond and Platinum wear their sail and sign card on their lanyards at all times to impress the lowly golds, reds and blues. Of course they do. What do you say, John? Well, thank you very much, Mickey. I think it's brilliant, by the way, that you've put Cruise Critic in with a capital C and a capital C. But when you've written my name, not only did you not call me John, but Heald is in all small case, so no capital for my name. Does not bother me in the slightest. And if you try to get under my skin, it's not working. It's not working.
Well, at least he takes the things that some people do to him with humor. I guess that's really all you can do. Cruise Critic in capital letters, his name in lowercase letters. But again, why is that even a discussion on the internet? Why does anybody care? And if a Diamond member, a Platinum member wants to wear their, sign and sell card around their neck, what does it matter? One, it could be simply for convenience. It's an easy place to carry it. They're experienced cruisers, and that's how they like to carry their sign and sell card. Maybe it is to let everybody else know, look, I'm Diamond, I'm Platinum. I'm sure that is the case for some. Really doubt that's the case for all. But I mean, what do you guys think? Is this really something that you should be concerned about when you're cruising? Next up, prohibited items list. There's a big list of things you cannot bring on board a cruise ship. Unless you are brand new to cruising, this is not a shock. This is not a surprise. This is not new information. So yeah, if you try to bring something on board the cruise ship, it's not allowed. They're going to take it away. How do you come back and go, well, now I'm mad. Now I'm disgruntled because I couldn't do whatever I wanted to do? Doesn't matter if it's a safety issue. No, I wanted it. I couldn't bring it on. Now I write in a letter.
Straight into a letter this morning. We've got to go quick. Straight into the letter. And the letter. I miss letters. Don't you miss letters? Anyway, This is a post from yesterday that says, from a lovely person, my travel iron was confiscated today as I got on Panorama, and I'm very disgruntled. There are not enough irons on board for, well, there's actually more than 2,000. It's 4,000 people. Why is this banned? It makes no sense. Having wrinkled clothes are the sign of poor upbringing. And who would wear a wrinkled gown on formal night? Everyone needs to press clothes for formal night. We are grown-ups, not children. I served my country for 12 years. Now, lots of places to go with that one. But first of all, the most important thing. Thank you, sir, for your service, and I am very ashamed that I do not know how to do any ironing and pressing. I left home, Mum did it, went straight to the ship did it, came home. Embarrassing. Don't know how to press clothes. But you obviously do, having served your country, so I will say thank you for your service. That's the most important thing. I'm not sure these days it's a sign of poor upbringing, as you said, but I do understand. And I'm sure you really do understand that the reason we do not allow hot irons on board for pressing clothes, apparently that's how you iron, is a safety thing. It's an absolute safety thing. So that's why now some of the ships do have ironing or pressing or laundry rooms where you can do pressing. We don't have them on Mardi Gras, Carnival Jubilee, Carnival Celebration, Carnival Venezia, Carnival Firenze. We do have them on Carnival Encounter and Carnival Adventure and all the other ships. So you can, but you can also just leave it with your cabin attendant, and he or she will take it to the laundry, have it pressed, and return to you immediately. So it's, well, quickly, I should say, rather than immediately. So that's another way to do it. But we do not allow travel irons, hot irons on board. That's the international symbol for ironing. On board. So please remember, it's a fire safety risk, right? That's at the bottom line. That is what it is all about. And you know, a fire in a cabin is a very serious and dangerous thing.
All right, so you can't bring items on the prohibited items list because it's a safety issue. Irons is a safety issue, possibility of fire. But what really gets me about that comment, and I guess makes me go, what? Why do you put in there, but I've had 12 years of military service and not understand rules and safety? 12 years of military service, you never had to go to a safety briefing? You don't get safety? But that somehow that makes you disgruntled, and obviously you had poor upbringing if you don't agree and have some wrinkles in your clothes. My God, people, you're on vacation. Relax. There's irons on board. There's laundry service on board. There's a spray, wrinkle release spray you can get. But yeah, you don't need to be disgruntled because you don't get your way. Just because you're a member of something on the internet doesn't mean the cruise line's going to give you something for free. And really, are you comparing your cruise group, we want to meet up on the ship group to AA meetings? I mean, seriously, those two are not even the same thing.
Now, I just want to finish with the message of the day, and it comes from a lady, and she says the following. Are the Bill W meetings pushing soberness on others? Question mark. Are cruise critic meetings pushing cruise critic on others? The answer is no. So why can't we have cruise critic meetings set up as before COVID-19? There was a private party with drinks and nibbles. The cruise director would attend and the captain on occasion. There are Facebook meet and greets, right? Why not cruise critic? Now, people think I have some kind of agenda against cruise critic. I really don't. The people that write there are fabulous writers. I mean, the editors, etc. They do wonderful articles. and I have nothing but the greatest admiration. Some of the people who are on the message, I think they call them boards, right, do not like me. I don't know why, but they're obviously entitled to their opinion. I'm not one size fits all. We do have people who meet on for Facebook meetings. They do this themselves. They are not sponsored by Carnival Cruise Line, and so we don't provide anything. They just meet up and say, "Oh, you're Bert, and you're Ernie, and they just meet and have fun." We don't have cruise critic meetings. I don't believe there are any. I don't think we'll be bringing them. I'll ask the Beards and see what they say, but at the moment, I don't think, and we definitely will not be providing free drinks. I don't think we ever did that. But can I also say, by repeating this sentence, why can't have cruise critic meetings set up before, like before COVID-19? There was a private party with drinks and nibbles. Can I just remind you and any new reader that in 2017 the word nibbles was officially banned by the International Court of Human Annoyance. Anyone using the word nibbles will now be subject to punishment from Carnival Cruise Line brand ambassador. It involves a pair of buffet tongs and a very sensitive part of the body.
Yeah, so does Bill W., which is the AA meetings on board ship, does it push sobriety on people? And if it doesn't, why can't we have cruise critic meetings where Carnival provides us drinks, Carnival provides us nibbles? God, I hate that word too. Why can't Carnival provide us some food? You know, this should be led by the cruise director. The captain should show up. And so my question is this really about cruise critics groups meet on the ship? Or is this about why does Carnival not do it for us? Why are we not having a private party? Well, why then wouldn't everybody be entitled to a private party sponsored by Carnival? So is this really about being able to, have a meet and greet on the ship? Or is this really about you want something for free? Because I'm really leaning towards it's you want something for free. You want the cruise lines to do it, them to arrange it, them to provide the drinks, them to provide the food, so you can say nibbles and then they can chase you around with a pair of tongs. I don't know. What do you guys think? Now, I get that maybe there's something on cruise ships you don't like. One little specific thing that maybe gives you a little bit of annoyance. Not enough to ruin a vacation, not enough to make you not book again, not enough to make you go, I'll never sail with this cruise line again. Just a little something that you're like, I wish this was different. But that's not the same for everybody. Sometimes there's things that just really, really annoy them. They got to write in a comment, but they can't simply write in a polite comment, a nice comment. Nope. Instead, you got to attack somebody. You got to be rude. You got to make fun of somebody else to somehow get your point across about a towel.
And here it is, today's letter of the day. Today, on this Friday, I'm going to give you our letter of the day. And here it is, today's letter of the day, and it comes from a lovely gentleman who, again, I am a pincushion. It doesn't matter. Anyway, here it says, since someone posted about pillows, I thought I would post about the only thing I hated about our cabin, the bath towels. They are by far worse than even the towels used in any cheap motel. I thought Carnival had accidentally stocked us with the bath mat towels for soaking up the water at the base of the shower. You would think that after getting washed every day, they would soften up a bit. But no, these towels are so stiff and rough that they stand up on their own. Sorry. They are also not large enough for big people. I am a proud 400-pound man. You will relate to this, John, that towels Carnival gives us are not big enough for big people. Cutbacks to towels are being noticed. Do better, Carnival. I don't think I've ever seen this kind of comment before. The towels are soft. Maybe if you get a brand new towel, it doesn't maybe dry as well as one that's been used before, but If you don't like it, speak to your cabin steward, your cabin attendant, and he or she will take care of it immediately and give you different towels. I think our towels are soft. I think they do a great job. And I have to disagree. And I would really, really like your comments on this below, please. I really would. So towel thoughts, everyone, please. As for the gentleman writing, I'm a proud 400-pound man. You will relate to this, John, that towels Carnival gives us are not big enough for big people. And you're right. You're absolutely right. I am so big that instead of using a towel after I have had a shower, I just sit in a large tub of rice.
Okay, so again, it's okay if you don't like the towels. It's okay if you don't think they're the best towels in the world. I've personally never seen a Carnival towel stand up on its own. I've never had a problem with the towel, never had a problem with the towels drying me off. But of course, at the same time, I also don't think I need to write a comment into Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador and tell him, well, you understand because you are just as large, extremely large individual, and so you must be feeling the same thing that I am feeling. John, you are fat, and so you must have a problem with the towels. Why? Why is that even necessary to say? Why can't you simply say, I don't really care for your towels. I would prefer that they were a little bit softer. That's all that has to be said. You don't have to talk smack about somebody else or make fun of somebody else just to get your point across. See what I mean? What is wrong with some of these cruisers? Now, people miss the cruise ship. You go off on an excursion, you're not paying attention to the time, whatever the case may be. You come back and you have now missed the cruise ship and you're kind of on your own. Don't wish it to happen to anybody, but it does happen. And it is now your responsibility to either get yourself to the next port and meet the ship or to get yourself home. A little something people don't seem to understand sometimes, that if it's your fault, it's your responsibility. You don't get to turn around and go, cruise line, why did you not do this for me? Why am I responsible for my actions? I get it sucks you missed the ship, but at the end of the day, it's you that missed the ship. But that still doesn't stop people from writing in comments, making comments, wanting to basically, well, Carnival did nothing to compensate me for my actions.
Here's today's letter, and it's quite a serious one, but I just want to read it from this lady. Now, I can't read the whole thing because there's quite a bit of naughty words in there. But basically, this lady says, we missed the ship. It was our fault, but the sympathy or lack of sympathy from me specifically and Carnival has been really bad. She didn't say really bad. Naughty word. We both have stressful jobs, and this cruise was what we thought would be a reset. We got to Costa Maya, and we rented a Jeep, and the clock was set to the local time zone, something we didn't realize until way too late. We ended up on the pier 15 minutes after the gangway had been hauled up and watched for another 17 minutes precisely before they hauled the lines and departed. So when you say that it is okay to have people sneer and jeer at you, John, think of people like us. We had to stand there and watch the ship sail and be ridiculed by hundreds of people. Then the biggest slap in the face, we had to pay for our own hotel and then a taxi and ferry charges to get to join the ship next day in Cozumel. There was no help financially from Carnival. Why? Question mark. Well, I do have sympathy, and in my own defense, I don't think I've ever said that it's okay for people to applaud and cheer when we have the famous and so named pier runners. It's never nice, and there's always another side to the story, as we see here, but not just on Carnival, on Royal Virgins of the Norwegian Seas, it's tradition as well. It's just one of those things, but I totally understand your embarrassment, and I'm sure you were pretty upset with yourselves. Now, you also asked why the ship wouldn't come put the gangway out. I know if you'd been standing next to the gangway and the lines were still there, we possibly would have put it out. I'm sure the spring lines, or some of the lines had already been let go, which is why we couldn't get you back on the ship again. And yep, it is your responsibility, I'm afraid, to pay for the charges of your hotel and all the transportation charges. But I'm glad you were able to join the ship in the next day. So, two things here. If you're going to rent a car, please be very careful. And secondly, if there's a clock in that car in any of the islands, is it ship's time? Ignore it. Stay on ship's time unless you've been told otherwise by the ship. Something to bear in mind.
Okay, so yeah, a mistake can happen. You can be looking at the wrong clock, maybe not understand the difference between ship time and port time. But that's a risk you take if you book an excursion or go off on your own that's not through the cruise line. And look, you're not going to stop people from yelling, cheering, and jeering at pier runners. It's kind of a thing. It's kind of a tradition. And if you don't want to be the one that gets cheered and jeered at, well, then don't be the one. And if you do go off on your own and you've now missed the ship and it's now your responsibility to get yourself to the next port, how are you, or why are you getting upset that the cruise line didn't financially support you for what you did? Because you can't tell me that the cruise ship didn't tell you ship time. Be back on board, ship time. Be back at this time, ship time. They announce it, they post it, they print it. There's signs there at the gangway when you disembark. They remind you. Because it's not like the cruise ship wants to leave without you. But if they do, well, that's on you. But yeah, I think it's funny that their biggest thing in there is, well, there was no support financially from the cruise line because of this. I mean, I get it's our fault, but still, why are we having to pay instead of you? Make that make sense. And finally, I got one more for you today. Now, look, I'm going to have to give these people, credit for pure creativity. Their idea, it would have been cool to see. It would have been something you've never seen on a cruise ship before. I get all that. Of course, it's ridiculous and the answer is no, but still, I gotta give them credit for thinking outside the box. And of course, they weren't rude about it, but the answer's still no.
I mean this with the greatest respect, and I'm doing it with a big smile on my face. I'm dressed for a Saturday. Yes, my hair's very messy, but working hard, answering questions. And I have to say that I've been debating whether to share this with you, but it's brilliant. I get so many requests for so many different things. But yesterday, and I was so, but yes, I have to share this, full stop. I get wishes for birthdays and anniversaries and weddings and honeymoons and different things. And yesterday, well, I got asked to do one of these gender reveal things. Now, they're very popular. I don't quite understand it all, but they're very popular. But this gender reveal request was absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. They wanted me to arrange either blue or pink smoke to be blown out of, guess where? Yes, the whale tail. They wanted to be standing on Lido and with their group that they're sailing with to do the gender reveal, and everybody look up at the whale tail on the Carnival horizon and pink or blue smoke coming out. Now, can you imagine me asking the chief engineer? Sorry, I'm laughing. I'm not laughing because I'm going to do something for them. I can't do gender reveal, but I'll make them smile and we'll send them some nice things to say congratulations. But I just thought that was absolutely brilliant. Obviously, the answer is no. We can't do it. But I've had an idea. Because they're not using it anymore, why don't you write to the Pope? And perhaps you can use the chimney on top of the Sistine Chapel. It's all over, so ask the Pope.
All right, so like I said, yeah, the answer is no. The cruise line is not going to blow pink or blue smoke for your gender reveal out of the whale tail of a Carnival cruise ship. But I'll give him some props. I'll give him some props for thinking of the idea. I give him some props for asking for it. Like I said, according to at least what John is saying, not rude, not nasty, not ugly, not demanding. Definitely creative. But yeah, the cruise lines generally will not participate in your gender reveals, and no, they cannot blow colored smoke out of the funnels, ship funnels, to help you celebrate. But for all the comments I read, all the comments I see, all of the comments we talk about week after week, at least that one was funny. At least that one was creative. And I almost wish that they would do it for these people just because it was such an interesting and creative idea. Granted, of course, you guys know how it goes. If they do, then everybody wants something after that. You could never do just a one-time thing and have some fun with it without creating all kinds of other problems. But yeah, whoever wanted Carnival Cruise Lines to blow, colored smoke out the whale tail for a gender reveal, hey, props for having a really creative idea. And that's going to be our video for today. So here's my question for you guys. Some of these were mild, some of these were pretty tame, but does any of this make you want to be a brand ambassador for a cruise line? Do you really want to answer and deal with this kind of stuff each and every day? Hats off to Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador, John Hill. Whether you like him, whether you don't like him, he shows up each and every day. And this is just a sliver of an example of the stuff that he has to put up with, the stuff he has to deal with each and every day. And yet he still manages to show up each and every day and does it with a smile. So hats off to you, Mr. John Heald, because I don't think I could be nearly as nice as you. Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.